Hi, I hope you are doing good. In last session, we cover these topics, these points, and in today's session, we will cover these points, probably more than these points if possible. But first of all, we would try to complete these points. So let's start with first one. Show how to call post logout method to return on post logout URL by adding account sign out method. Basically, there are some situation in our case when you need to make a call to external identity or external uh, APIs whenever your user log out. So in that situation, to identify to external party, you uh, need to make a call to that party or that API whenever user will log out. So in this case, we will see how to handle this situation. So first of all, let's implement the logout. Let me go to the code, views. In our menu, let me add logout button. If user would be login, then he must have a logout button on screen in a menu. So, okay. So in layout, I just simply added logout button, and in that, because we are using identity, so the endpoint which get execute when we log out, when a user will get log out, this is a method which will get executed. Sorry, this is for sign up. Let me replace for logout. So this is for sign out. Microsoft account. Account Microsoft identity. This is the method which will get hit. This would be the area, this would be the controller, and this would be the action. You remember we enable identity. We are using identity UI. So we could call their endpoint for login and logout. They are synced with our external identity endpoints. So let me go to the layout. Let me show you. We have a logout button. Okay, so you could see that we have a sign out button. When we will click on sign out, okay, we are sign out successfully. Let me try to access. Mm, this is the URL that we need to access. Okay, so let me log out. Let me click on a email which I want to log out. Now I am log out successfully. Let me try to access this. Okay, so whenever I will try to access authenticated endpoints, I will be redirected to the login endpoint of Entra ID, as you could see on screen, right? So we have successfully added logout sign out functionality. So our next goal is uh, to add post logout URL by adding account signout method. So there is one more thing that I have not discussed with you so far. Let me show you. When we click on login, okay, so we are login. When we are getting logout, we are not getting redirected on sign in page. You could see that this is a page where we get stuck when we log out, right? But logically, we should be redirected to the login page. This is not happening. So this point will clear this, will provide the solution of this problem as well. So let's see how to fix this by using post logout signout method. To do that, we need to create a method where we want to redirect uh, after logout. Let's create a controller. Let me add a account controller. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, this is account controller. Let me add logout method here. Public new action result. Let me say it's sign out. Okay, now let me base dot sign out, and after that redirect to action, return redirect to action index and home. Basically, what will happen when we will log out? As we saw that we are not getting login, we are not getting redirect to the login page. So when we will log out, in this case, we will hit to this method after successfully login, and this method will redirect us to the authorized page, right? And when we will try to access authorized page, we will be redirected to the sign page, right? So this is the configuration that we have defined in account controller, and here in program.cf we need to change some code. We have no need to add controller with views because we are using this here, right? Simply we need to do this, and then because we are using razor pages, save dot add razor pages for login and logout. Then we need, that's why we need to add razor pages. So I simply added razor pages, right? And account controller. Basically, when we sign out, here we have defined in this configuration, it is defined that when we will be log out, the post method that will get execute, which is that this is the default configuration which is provided inside identity. So let's run this and see if it is working. Let me add a breakpoint here. Okay, so after logout, we are redirected to this method, right? So you could see that in this way, we have resolved the problem that we were unable to redirect to the login page when we were getting logout. On sign out button, you could see that area, controller, and action. Area is Microsoft Identity, which is synced with River Pages here, right? So we need to add this to make it workable. And when we will be log out successfully, after that, when will log in, this method will get execute, and by using this method after login, we can redirect to user wherever we want to. Okay, so we are done with this point. Now let's move to the next point, which is how to make pre-logout call to call external API using onRedirect event. Basically, in first point, we check that how to call to any party uh, after logout, right? In this case, we will see how can we make a call to any external party or API. This is a pre-logout call before user get logout. So let's see how to configure it. Let's go to program.cs. Here we need to add a configuration. Here simply add builder dot services dot add dot configure figure OpenID default dot authentication schema, and then the second parameter would be options, and then schema OpenID connect options, and here we will have OpenID connect default dot authentication schema, and then we will have options options dot save token. First of all, make it true because we want to save token into our cache, and then let's configure options dot events dot on redirect to identity on redirect to identity provider for sign out. Let's okay. So now here we can make a call to any external API or external party. Let's define a method await notify to external APIs, and let me pass it context.http context.http. Let me simply context.http context. Okay, let me define a method which called, let me say notify external API. Let's say this is a method, right? And here we are calling this method context.http context. Here we go. Okay, so before login, logout, we will call this method. Let me show you. And this method would be called after logout. Let me click on sign out. You would see that first of all, notify to external API would get call. Okay, you could see that we are not logout so far, right? But this method is invoked. Now let's continue. Okay, we are logout successfully, right? Now when we will log in, this method will execute to redirect to the endpoint where you want to be on user. Wherever you want to redirect to user, this method will redirect to the user. Okay, this is executed and here you can redirect user to wherever you want to. Okay, so yeah, we are done with this point as well, right? Now let's move to the next point. In this point, we will see that how can we extend claims if we are using only one app and we are not using single sign-on because single sign-on is used when you are using multiple Azure Entra external ID apps, right? So with OnTokenValidated, when user log in, as uh, when he log in, we make a call to API and we get a claim. It could be a database call or to any other service call. We get the claims from that service and then we extend claims in our iClaims uh, in our iClaim dictionary that we do have in C# or in .NET. It is basically claims identity class where we get a claims when user login in Entra external ID. So let's see how can we extend claims for a single app. And one more thing I would like to mention why it is not good to use for multiple apps because in whenever a user will log into one app, right? We will execute this method, right? Whenever user will first log in, right? But on another app, in case of other app, right, we are getting token from external IDs. We will not perform the process of login. That's why on token validate would not get invoked and we will not have claims in other apps, right? In that app, wherever we will user will get login, we will have claims in that app, but uh, in other app, if we are using SSO, other app would not have the same claims. I would show you the resolution of this problem. How could we resolve in next session? But for now, let's see how to implement OnTokenValidate. So let's go to the code. Okay, here we will implement options dot events. Let me add a code quickly so it will save our time. Let me simply okay, let's create this method now. Okay, so we don't have a to-do service. Let me simply okay, here we go. Right, so we have added on token validate. We extend claims. This is a class where we get claims when user get login. This is synced with uh, this, right? And this is the configuration which defines that we want to new schema of claims, not the old one. And this is the code which is synced, which is responsible to add claims in claims identity, right? So now you would see that we would have a custom claim, which value would be new custom claim, right? Let's simply run this. Okay, let me sign out. Let's okay, so you could see that on post login, we this method is getting invoked, and let's continue. You could see that we have custom claim, right? This method on token validate event is only invoked once the life cycle of login. It is only called when user get login. There is another way to do the same thing, which is called claim transformation, right? But that is not the right way to do, because that is a middleware which get executed whenever user login. But this process should be done when user first time login, not in every request, every single request. This is the iClaim transformation. Is a middleware that invoked every time, and we can extend claims in this middleware, and we can check if this claim exists, then don't add. Otherwise, make a call to DB and add claims in claims identity class. So because this iClaims transformation middleware get executed in every single HTTP request, that's why it is not a pro approach. The best approach to do this is on token validate. Okay, so we are done with these points. So these are the 3 points that we have checked in this video, right? In next session, we will see how can we implement custom authentication extension, and this is the solution of the problem which we were facing in this point, right? In this case, uh, more than one app or two, if we are using one or two or three app or single sign-on, then we will use custom authentication extension method instead of on token validation, right? This is what we will see in next session. Okay, so the code that we have implemented today, I will check I will create a repository. I will create a branch with the name of this session, and at the description of this video you could find that repository and you can check code in that repository. This is all for this session. Let me know if you do have any comment, any query. I am here to resolve that. Thank you.